Norman is a Southern gentleman. If you look that up in the dictionary, it would be a picture of Norman Kellum. He is a rock-solid citizen. He is a great person to have in your community.
Norman is a very caring person. I've got to know several people in New Bern throughout my life, and they all know Norman as a caring, considerate person. He's done a whole lot for New Bern, for Craven County, for the schools there.
Norman is a person that you can count on. His word is his bond. Norman at the same time is a visionary, not only in terms of his professional career, but in terms of his spiritual commitment. He does all that he can do within his power to support his local community, as well as his church in the community and his ministry around the world.
Well, we met when we were very young children. I've been through it with Norman from, right say the beginning. We were friends, and we went in the Army together through ROTC at Wake. And Norman, not many people know it, was in the 101st Airborne Division. So he jumped out of airplanes. He loves the Army. Norman's loved everything he's always done.
My grandfather told me that you can judge a man's character by the way he treats strangers and the way he treats animals. And Norman, so many times, will do what's right and help strangers when they're in need, and he loves animals. This is AJ. He is the firm's mascot. He's the second generation of a dog that has been part of the family there at the Kellum law firm, and he loves coming to see Norman.
You know, he's not one of those people who needs recognition for good deeds. I've been surprised over the years how many times his name will come up for having been a contributor or a donor.
Over the last 20 years, I've seen many cases where Norman's helped people within his office, within the community, or complete strangers. For instance, in Greenville, North Carolina this summer, there was a shooting outside of his office in the parking lot. That was on a Friday. And by Monday, he had a foundation started where he donated the first $10,000 to help the family of the people who were shot. He had no idea anything about why it happened, just wanted to help.
I've heard from many people in New Bern all the special things that he does that go unnoticed. For example, the high school football teams down in New Bern and Craven County have been very successful over the years. And Norman has always taken it upon himself to make sure that those kids are awarded for their good play and their championships.
When these kids win their state championships, the championship rings do not come with the winning of the championship. They have to buy them. And like many cases, these kids do not have the money to pay for these rings. And Norman has literally donated tens of thousands of dollars to these high schools to buy the rings.
Norman is very involved in the community and in life. He's a wonderful friend to a lot of people.
He is a kind Christian gentleman, and I know he's a very devoted husband. He's a very devoted father. He's very devoted to his community.
Norman Kellum is appreciative of his past, his roots, from whence he comes.
When he was in school, he sold Bibles. He put himself through law school selling those Bibles. He made a lot of money. You have to be a good salesman to sell Bibles. He's that type of person. He's a salesperson, but he's just maintained that personality. He's an outgoing. He doesn't know any strangers.
When I first met Norman, I was overwhelmed by the passion that he had for Wake Forest University.
Norman truly loves Wake Forest. I've visited with Norman every Wednesday for the last 20 years. And if it's not Wake Forest football, Wake Forest basketball, it's Wake Forest golf.
He knows more than just the score and the teams. He knows a lot about the game and the strategy, and he's a real sports fan.
And one of the funny stories about Norman is if NC State or North Carolina or someone else had a football game on the same day and time as Wake Forest, many of Norman's friends in New Bern actually prefer to come to Winston-Salem and watch the Deacons play with him. He's a big fan. Anybody that drives from New Bern to Winston-Salem and back in the same day, which he's most likely to do, that speaks volumes of his love of Wake Forest.
I don't know of anyone that embodies the motto of Wake Forest University more than Norman Kellum.
All his actions and what he does is not just helping people, but doing it behind the scenes and making the world a better place. And it's absolutely amazing what he's done for this university.
Even though he didn't play golf at Wake Forest, he made a commitment to us to name the men's locker room in the future golf clubhouse that we have. And to me, that just shows how much he cares about the university. He's done stuff for the college. He's got a law scholarship, so he has contributed in a lot of different ways. I feel like Norman embodies pro humanitate, and it's something that he lives by.
Norman is very involved in the community and in life. He's a wonderful friend to a lot of people.
I think the one thing that really excites me about Mr. Kellum, where he is with his career, he's still opening offices, he's still looking at new markets. In the last 24 months, we've opened 2 offices at Raleigh and in Wilmington, and I don't think there's a time for him to stop. He's really looking forward to building his brand and building his business for the future.
Individual of this award, and I'm happy for Norman and for Ruth and for the entire family, and they're just good people. Go Deeks.
Norman, I would personally like to congratulate you on receiving this award. You've been very helpful to me over the years and have been a good friend. I know for a fact that Clements and everybody else, Milton Gold and everybody else in New Bern speaks highly of you. It's an honor for me to help in the process this evening of awarding you this Distinguished Alumni Award.
Hey Norman, I want to wish you well and to congratulate you on this distinguished honor today. As a fellow alum of Wake Forest University, I could not be prouder of you and for the recognition that has come your way. Way to go, my friend, and go Deeks.